medical practitioners, you are given accreditation to attend the matches. Generally, first you get to enjoy the privileges of the entrances from all ends. And
the free packs.
Yeah, the free packs. And then now it comes to the main work where a few get to selected to now be on the court side, the pitch side now. I was generally for most of the matches I was on the attendance.
Okay, so you were working more with like
this oversight on the end because there were so many.
Okay.
By many, what do you mean in terms of and what does it entail apart from the free packs that we've just mentioned? But then just being a medic at that particular scenario, do you complement the work of the physios, or what exactly does that entail?
Okay, it comes with different. First of all, the members who are there, we have the paramedics, we have the physios, we have medical practitioners now, the MOs who are also there. For the paramedics, they're the ones who are on the pitch side, standby in case of, God forbid, incidences, major incidences. The minor injuries which occurs in the field are now catered now for the team, or rather now for the national team. Each team now comes with its own team, which has its own physios and a couple of medics. But now there are others who are standby on the pitch side. Now these are appointed by the federation to support the stadium, and now we have others who are on the stands, as maybe the media centers, so on and so forth.
That's very interesting.
It's a couple of team. Yeah.
Sounds like a big team.
Did you know, by the way, Sammy, that this week Nairobi United FC, who by the way are some of our partners here, and they're actually participating in the CAF Confederations Cup, they've actually traveled to Morocco. They struck a partnership deal with E+ Medical Services, aka EMS Kenya, who are thrilled to announce that they have officially joined the mission to elevate player welfare, partnering with E+ as the official provider of emergency medical services for the 2025 season. This is the second key club to partner with E+, together with Darajani Gogo FC, to ensure medical readiness. In the collaborations about creating a new benchmark for safety in Kenyan football. Say that's why we have you here today. What do you attend games regularly as well for your podcast? What do you see in what are some of the gaps that exist in the medical services in Kenyan sports? Because you're going to a game today, by the way, a Basketball Africa League qualifier game. So that one is being organized by an international organization. Do you find like some of them are more prepared than the local organizers, or what is your take from your experiences?
I think first of all, the gap is there. We cannot deny that, and we can also acknowledge that we are catching up. But as much as we are catching up, still there's a way. The journey is long. The journey is so long. You can't compare ourselves, I think, as of now, still with the Europeans. For the basketball, it's still an African thing. So you still expect the gaps here and there, but I still literally appreciate everyone, and I think we are making up. We're making up the ground.
Have you been to? You said you attend games regularly. Yeah. What do you see there? Do you see a medical readiness there, or do you see like it's something that is clearly missing something? Like if a player was to get injured on the game, is there availability of transport to get them to the nearest hospital, to treat them right there on the pitch if needed?
I think what I can confirm as of now with the federation and lots of regulations which are being implemented, initially we used to have a football match can kick off without having an ambulance standby. That's
quite interesting, because I've seen matches being stopped elsewhere because there was no ambulance available.
As far as I remember, it's impossible to start a football game without
an ambulance. Yes. Exactly, or two actually.
Exactly. So as of now, we are at a point whereby we have matches cannot even start without at least two ambulances in both ends, and the exit to be clearly shown in case of emergencies. For the teams, as you've seen with the Nairobi United, we are having teams whereby they are equipping their medical teams. Initially, we could at a point where we were at, we have physios who are teaming up to all around. Our physio is all of a sudden acting as a nurse, as a doctor, doing all the thing. But now we have teams that are having physios, they have doctors there, and I think we are headed in the right direction.
So in terms of other gaps, besides we've spoken about the ambulance, but then of course there's a comparison that Musa asked you in terms of just looking at what is out there vis-a-vis what we have here in Kenya. But if you were to do things differently, and if say today I told you I'm going to give you the job to be my advisor on issues sports medicine, what are some of the key pointers you'd bring out, or what are some of the key elements that you feel are missing that should be actually considered at this particular moment?
I think on the pitch, well said that we are somewhere. First of all, a lot of things happen now outside the pitch. In the modern game, we have in the European side, to borrow from them, you have them fully equipping houses. We have the injury part, the recovery is like an injury is like a car when you just paint the body and you don't check at the engine. So a lot happens after. So as much as we're catching up on the pitch side, where we have ambulances, medical teams who are standby, now club-wise, do clubs have the necessary equipment? Are the players receiving the necessary attention that they require? Are injuries being treated as serious as they're supposed to be treated, as we see with the other European countries? Here we have players, I think most of the players are just using their own maybe money to cure for an injury. We have players who are being insecure about their contracts. A player will opt to play with an injury, will opt to play with pain, so that he can retain that contract, because it's a short contract. The salary is at hand, the position is being fought for. There's pressure from the fans. They haven't seen it for a couple of matches. You lose it, we are Merogwa, lots of things start coming out. So the gaps that are there for the teams to now fully equip, where they're using their training camps to have fully equipped minor hospitals with the necessary machines, the MRIs, the CTs, the X-rays. Those are the pattern. The part I think we are out of now, falling short. It's not good to see a player maybe undergoing a surgery at Nairobi Hospital. I believe we will reach a time where we have a club with its own facilities.
Well, hopefully we will get there, and it's good that we are starting to see strides with what has just been mentioned about Nairobi United. But there's a point that you've mentioned, and I think it is very critical that we come back to it. What is the risk of somebody playing with an injury and continuously doing so? What are you exposing yourself to?
It's crazy, bro. Playing with injury, you are risking your career. First of all, you're risking your career. It's a matter of time before it catches up with you. Injury should be treated with seriousness. A player should be treated with seriousness, with the rehab. In Kenya, even a player gets injured, and I think after a little bit of recovery, so long as the player is, pain is like an indicator. It's like when you're driving your car and then something reappears on your dashboard. The light, it's an indicator. So this pain indicates something about your body. You need to get that scan. You need to get those blood tests done on you, so that it can be assessed where the alarming issue is coming from your body. So the moment you're having this player to continuously playing with that pain, I think you're risking the career.
On top of risking your career, and you said right there that the pain is like the injury dashboard. Sometimes... the indicator right there from the car. Sometimes you could not have pain but still be injured. Now, how would a player now, like, because like excuse me there. Are there scenarios where are there some specific injuries where you wouldn't be feeling pain, but you do know that like your knee is gone or like your ankle is gone or something like that? Or
I think when you are playing on, especially when the adrenaline levels are so high and you're on the pitch, you get an ankle twist, an ACL. Okay, most of the ACL, they feel the pain immediately. Maybe you get a muscle tear, you might not feel the pain immediately, but immediately the adrenaline starts going down in your body. Now pain starts kicking in. You cannot avoid pain in injury. The pain will always be there with you.
Well, the pain will always be there. Now, I have another question, and because I've been in sports and I know how important it is to do stretches after playing. And right now we are starting to see newer things, players doing ice baths as part of recovery. So in terms
and
of
the massage gun is becoming really popular these days. Mm-hmm.
So in terms of managing your body, what advice would you give athletes or sportsmen and women?
Yeah, we are in a modern game where it's constantly evolving. The intensity are increasing. We are having clubs having different demos of practice by the day. Recovery now goes way back to your home, where you get to stretch, you get to use those ice baths if you have them. There are facilities that are maybe near you get to utilize them. They are very important for the muscles, for the recovery. The muscle, due to the intense training, you find that the allocated time now before maybe the next session, maybe the coming day, your muscle has not recovered yet. You come there with lots of fatigue. Mm-hmm. The modern games also, the technology is advancing so fast. We are having monitoring GPS to monitor the fatigue level for players. I don't know whether it has arrived here in Kenya.
I think it has. During Chan, the Kenyan players were fitted with vests that are monitoring heart rate, fatigue, and these days they're like even just wrist whatever.
Wristbands.
I think there's that really popular one now, Whoop. It's like $200 and it measures your sleep, recovery, rest, so many things.
Now it comes to how many clubs can afford it.
Thank you. I was about to actually say the same thing.
Now, I was getting to, I like that you were getting the same thing. We are all wired
together.
We're connected to the radio generation Wi-Fi, because I was going to say, you said that like a player is playing through these injuries and all of those things and he needs to get his scans and his blood work, but... And you also mentioned technology, but technology is yes, it's evolving, and it might initially be extremely expensive and then eventually subside down to something more affordable. Who is it on? Is it on the technology companies or the medical technology companies that are creating these things to reach out to the clubs to find a way in between? Because like the clubs, if they don't have the money, they're never gonna come up to these people and say, "Hey, can we get a discount or something like this?" So who's the onus on to make sure these services reach the people who they're made for?
I don't know whether you'll agree with me, but I believe it's up to the clubs. I believe
it doesn't matter if I agree or not. I was asking. I want to hear what you say.
I believe the clubs have the mandate, and since these players are their employees, and they should be catching up, reaching out to the relevant companies, industries that are developing these things. There are trial periods for this equipment. You can get those deals, get those players' insurances.
By the way, that's another thing. Like health insurance, isn't it like something that you're legally obliged to provide for your employees?
I think you being in the States so they led you there around the wrong path, because yes, in the States it is obligatory. But here,
fairly certain it's still legal. It's still am I in Kenya? It's obligatory.
I know. Basically here, for you to get a proper health insurance, to be factually correct, and again the Medicare will correct me, it is up to you. It is a personal onus. It is upon you to decide whether you want it or not. So the bare minimum that we are being pushed to right now is just the SHIF.
SHIF and SHA.
But you see, until recently, it was still not a must. So anybody who's doing any informal work, you did not have to pay for NHIF back then. But right now, and I like what the government is doing, they're literally pushing all of us to ensure that we join SHIF so that some of these things can be sorted for you. But like Said said, when you look at the cost that comes from injuries, and I know a lot of players who've actually quit playing football.
So many athletes have abandoned their careers at 21, 17, at 19 because of in lack of access to medical.
It's money. It's about the money, because you realize most of us get into sports to to earn a living out of it. And we see how it happens in the West. And I know earlier on we were actually talking about this, but then when you literally look at how the teams manage their players, for them it's like the players are not important. And the other thing is, one, we need to look at investment from not just the clubs, but also from other people who come in and sponsor these teams, because we don't have a lot of corporates that are coming in to support these teams, and that's why you see these teams struggling. And it's not just about the medical bit of things, even travel. You know very well there are teams that cannot even be able to travel from point A to point B to honor matches, and we are seeing that even at the highest level of the Kenyan Premier League. So I agree with you. Yes, the investment comes from the teams themselves, but we also have a responsibility. If I'm a fan of a certain teams, for example, you said you're a fan of Gor Mahia, I'm a fan of Mathare United. It is up to me to ensure that I consistently attend their matches, support the team, buy their merchandise, because that is why we get it wrong, even for the teams that we support. Because at the end of the day, it's always been a thing of saying the teams should do this, the teams should do that, yet we ourselves, who are supposed to be investing in those teams, are also not doing our bit, to be honest, Said.
But I think we are at a point where we are seeing the figures being generated from match events are so huge. If they are true.
If
and,
that's true, that's a very good point to bring up.
And we have
but
clubs.
Do you know it's not all clubs?
Yeah, it's not all clubs. For the fan-based club, the community clubs. But I think also we have clubs like Kenya Police. Kenya Police seems to attract lots of corporate
sponsors.
Corporate sponsors. Everyone is headed there. I don't know whether to align yourself with the right place for the government. But collective responsibility is the word.
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe speaking of another important thing is the literacy level. I was having a chat with a former Gor Mahia player by the name Kenneth Muguna.
I watched him live play for Harambee Stars once, and I was so impressed by the player, man.
Yeah.
Please continue.
He got an approach from a foreign club back in the day when he was at Gor at I think Albania, if I'm not wrong. And Gor by that time have already been crowned champions, headed into a couple of matches towards the end, and I think he got injured 5 or 3 matches towards the end, and they went for a break. He did his home recovery, as he was calling it, and traveled to Albania. They did him the medical. He passed, unfortunately. He did recover maybe during the break, but he never attended any rehab or anything. And so him now featuring for that club, the injury reoccurred because he never had a proper rehab in a facility. And it eventually cost him the stay there. The pressure became too much. The fans know there's a foreign player that has been signed here,
and he's got
not
it
featuring as much as is required,
and he's getting paid.
And they had to mutually agree terminate the contract.
Let's talk about the rehabilitation that you've just spoken about, because I think it's also very important. What does it entail?
Now the rehab is so big. This is the immediate step when a player now undergoes any form of procedure or to now curb the injury. This rehab, unfortunately, I've seen people treating it as a way of immediately you stop feeling the pain, you're good to go. It's supposed to have a timeline. It's supposed to be monitored with the MRIs, the scanning and everything with days, and you're given time frames. But here we have very shallow rehab sessions where a player is just monitored with a physio. Do you feel pain? Okay, you can feature for the weekend. The player, that's why we have numerous injuries recurring with the players. We are not at, I believe, still at a point where a player can be sidelined for a period of time to recover from an injury. And continue getting your bonuses, salary.
Okay. Yeah. So if a player, so you're telling me right now, that's okay, don't worry about it. So right now, a player gets an ACL injury, they're not out for a year, they're out for 6 months, and they're back playing.
Now in Kenya, I think we still treat the ACL as an injury, as a knee injury.
Magoti nauma, magoti tu nauma.
Differentiate it. we've seen how the ACL is becoming a modern crisis in the football that we all love. A player can be sidelined to up to a whole season. And we've seen the amount of mass loss the leg undergoes. Yeah, and I think we are not yet treating it the way it's supposed to be. I think we are not differentiating it from a simple knee injury.
I have a question on ACL injuries. ACL is anterior cruciate ligament, right?
Yeah.
That's like this little thing here that sometimes when you hit here, it moves up, right? That's a very, you can tell my medical prowess with my explanation, guys, huh? So that thing, if it's injured, is the machine that's supposed to be able to test it and check the scan for it or something like that, is it an expensive machine to, like, is
Actually,
it...
the question should be, how many do we even have?
Yeah, is it like an MRI machine or just a typical X-ray, or what machine is it that does that?
An MRI is the machine of choice for the scanning of an ACL.
And that's expensive, that thing
It is expensive, not rarely found in our normal public hospitals. If you find them, there's the queue there. For example, I think in Kenyatta, if you book right now in November, you will be attended maybe mid-December. So you can imagine for a player with an ACL, you wait for that scan. It will take long. But alternatively, an X-ray can do for a bone, but I'm not sure if it's so convenient for an ACL.
And if you are to look at, and I know we've spoken about the ACL injury, but let's talk about other common injuries that you've come across.
I was going to let us do that, but we do have to take a cheeky break and play a song right now. And let's see, what do we pick for you guys out here? We've got Portugal, The Man, Live in the Moment.
This is Radio Generation. What are you doing? The new wave in your airwaves.
Dropping nothing but hits on me all day.